Today I was reading a paper in the Journal of Marketing and stumbled upon something very, very insightful, very, very interesting. It's basically, in vegetable and fruit stores, sometimes there are these not so good looking vegetable and fruits. What happens when you actually write ugly in the box in which they are being sold? That's what this research is about. Hi, Amrit here, co-founder of CoreVoice, and welcome to another episode of CoreInsights, where I or somebody from CoreVoice shares an insight from an interesting journal or blog or stuff like that. So as per this article, titled From Waste to Taste, How Ugly Labels Can Increase Purchase of Unattractive Produce. In US, about 30% of all the produce, vegetable and fruits, are discarded not because they are bad or something like that, because they are not that good looking or conform to the standard expectation of how a potato or tomatoes should look like. This amounts to almost $15 billion of food being wasted on account of looks. And the way they presently sell it is they would just put some discount, 20%, 30%, 40% discount on these assorted, not so good looking vegetable and fruits, and when you go there, you know that you are paying a discount because these are not good looking, so you can buy the regular ones at the regular cost and the not so good looking ones at a discounted price, but they are not labeled. So when the researchers approached these retailers and asked them, what do you think would lead to maximum sales of these not so good looking fruits and vegetables? A, keep it like the way you are, just the discount and no label. B, label them and call them ugly. Like label it ugly apples and ugly oranges. B, label them imperfect. C, label them vegetables with personality, oranges with personality, fruits with personality. When the survey was conducted, almost 50%, exact number is 46%, said that they would prefer to not put any label, and number 2 at 33%, 1/3 said they would at best go with imperfect. 17% said they might try with personality, and only 4% said they would even try writing ugly apples and ugly oranges. So these guys who did the research tested it via online, via actually going to a offline sales for 4 days, where 900 different customers came in the store, and some of them interacted, some of them bought. When customers had both options, one to buy the regular looking fruits and vegetables at the regular price versus the not so good looking but not labeled at 25% discount, a little over than 60% would end up buying the discounted but not so good looking fruits and vegetables, and a little less than 60% would end up buying the regular ones. And it's the 60 plus 60 is 120%. That means some people would buy a little bit of this, a little bit of that also. But when they put label called ugly on the not so good looking vegetables and fruits, the result is mind blowing. Alright, 80% of the shoppers bought this unattractive produce simply because it said ugly, and only 30% in fact bought the attractive produce, right? Likewise, they had a similar way to gauge online interest and stuff like that, and result was predominantly that writing some label is always better than writing no label, and writing ugly literally gives the best result. If you think about what's really happening here, why does writing ugly really make people actually prefer buying from that more than they would have done otherwise, right? What's really happening here? So some of the reasonings that were considered were, hey, maybe when you write ugly, it becomes a little bit of a surprising, original marketing type of message, so people pay more attention to it, right? A, that was one reasoning that was tested. B, when you write ugly, you sort of giving them a human sort of a personality, right? Human beings are ugly and stuff like that, so that means more people actually relate to it and have that empathy, and maybe some of them actually do want to buy it simply because it was called ugly and they want to make a point. Other reasoning was, if somebody is calling their produce ugly and if they are looking ugly, this sort of shows some sort of honesty and credibility, so maybe that plays in the mind and people started preferring to buy that. The real reason why writing ugly is working in favor of the not so good looking fruits and vegetables is that most people do realize that in terms of taste and health, the regular looking ones and the good looking ones are probably going to be the same, but that is the functional and the rational part of your brain. But when you are out there, when you look at a discount, somehow you club them all together, and what the overall non-labeled impact that happens on our brains and our feelings is that we feel that this discount is because this is not going to taste as good. This discount is because this is not as healthy and stuff like that. But when the same label, the box says ugly, and you see the discount, you now know that the discount is because these are ugly looking. And your brain sort of very easily tells you that the discount is not because they are any less healthy or any less tasty. So yeah, I found this marketing insight pretty useful, and imagine the impact of it, right?